Hi there. I wanted to wrap up this month's theme of how to start a purge, purging kids' toys, and then organizing them with a couple practical tips on how to limit toys coming into your house. So, I mean, we're gonna have to keep doing this process over and over and over. School papers, Sunday school papers, birthdays, holidays. Kids just collect things. And so a couple tips on at least a little bit limiting what comes in so that we don't have to do quite as much continual maintenance. It's still going to be there, but maybe to lessen that load and make it a quick, fast thing. Here's a couple of my tips that I do with my kids. Generally, we save toys for Christmas. So if we go to the store, whether it be, my son calls it the blue store, Walmart. They love Walmart because it has all the Paw Patrol toys. Whether it be Walmart, another grocery store, the thrift store, I typically go in by myself with no kids. But aside from that, when my kids do go in, I tell them, I prep them ahead of time. I'm like, hey, it's super fun to look at toys. It's super fun to get ideas for new toys, but we're not going to buy anything. There's a couple times I've said, okay, you guys can take some of your money, and if you really want a toy and we decide that it's special enough, it can come home with us. But typically when we go out, I just set the premise, set the expectation for my kids. We're not buying a toy. I let them look at them, and they have a lot of fun looking at the toys and dreaming about how they would play with it. And I mean, I do that with things that I would like. I go through the home decorating section and think, oh, I would love that pillow, or I would use it there. And I don't buy stuff all the time. And it's a good thing to teach kids anyway. But that's one thing. Generally, my kids know I get toys at my birthday and I get toys at Christmas. And what we do, we go in, each of my kids has an Amazon wish list that I keep on my Amazon app on my phone. And if they see a Paw Patrol toy that is just, oh, the bee's knees, like it's the best thing out there, then they add it. I pull out my phone and said, hey, let's put it on your Amazon wish list. And then when your birthday comes around or when Christmas comes around, people who always buy you presents, Papa and Oma, Grandma, friends, aunts and uncles, whoever, they can choose whether they would like to buy that for you. Or if you get a bunch of Christmas money or a bunch of birthday money, you could decide if you wanted to buy this with some of your money. And so that's something we do. That is super helpful. And they just have this mentality that they know. We typically don't buy toys. Toys can be saved. I can save the idea for later. It's not lost to me. Okay. Speaking of those holidays, if you consider birthday a holiday, any other holiday that toys come in, Christmas, sometimes Valentine's Day, sometimes Easter, birthday, obviously, we do a toy purge around that time frame. A lot of times I will actually do a toy purge before and after. Now I'm speaking Christmas and birthday here because my kids get a lot of stuff. At least it feels like it to me. And so we'll go through and we'll say, hey, we got to make room for new toys you're going to get. What is something that recently we haven't played with at all that we can pass on to make room for new toys? And especially if I know what category, I talked about that last week, the categories for organizing. If I know what category they're getting new toys in, I try to make sure ahead of time that there's room for the new toys they're getting in that category. And that helps a lot. But yes, purging around the holidays. I often end up doing it before and after. This is a little bit, it's not off topic, but for kids' clothes, I might consider a capsule. This is something I want to get better at actually in the future with my kids' clothes. But right now, all of my oldest 3 kids, their current clothing fits in one 4-drawer dresser in one closet. And it fits nicely. It's not super packed. I mean, when we fold laundry, their dresser drawers do get a little bit packed. but but it all fits. Generally, they can open and close drawers easily. And one thing that has helped me in that area is to kind of think, okay, how many play shirts do they need? Probably not more than 5 because I'm going to do laundry before the 5th one's dirty. How many pairs of pants do they need? How many, all of those things. Trips also help. If you think about if my kids were going on a 10-day trip, just to make sure, okay, I definitely do laundry more than every 10 days. But say we're going on a 10-day trip, what would I need to pack for my kids? Probably play clothes, probably a swimsuit, probably a pair of church clothes, which my kids have way more than one pair of church clothes for sure. But I go by seasons. Okay, how many Sundays are in a season? Usually there's going to be about 3 months, right? So 4 or 5 dresses that can rotate for my girls, or, it helps me to think, what are we practically doing with these clothes? And then we can see a better idea of how many we actually need. Again, pajamas, probably not more than 5 pairs. My kids have more than 5 pairs. Probably not more than 7 pairs because we're going to do laundry. They can rewear pajamas, all those things. But I would consider maybe doing a capsule even for your kids if you struggle with an overwhelming amount of clothes. Okay, back to toys. Sorry for that little interruption. Have a system that works. Again, when you go into the store, what are they allowed to buy? When are they allowed to spend their money? My kids, I think there was a day in January. No, it was in December because it was before Christmas. My kids had some money and we went to the thrift store, and before we went in, I said, we probably won't buy toys again, but if there's something that you love that we know is a very special toy, it can come home with us. And my daughter bought an airplane. It was for little critters from Target, something, but it's perfect for her 4 or 5 inch Barbie dolls. And she has been thrilled with it. It has been a very special toy. She got it for a very good deal. All my kids love it. All my kids will play with it. My son got a Zuma TY Beanie Baby. Love Zuma. Zuma's his absolute favorite. It was one you could wash in the washing machine, so I should qualify. If you've watched any of my thrifting videos, we do make sure things are clean. But he sleeps with it every night. Loves it. It was like $2. But again, we only look for the special things that are allowed to come home with us. But also, something I use at times is, what is it going to take the place of? So especially if it's in a category that's already full, what's going to leave so that this can come in? Because it needs a home. That's one of our rules, especially when we're out shopping too, is I always ask them, where is it going to live? Where's its home going to be in our house? Where are we going to fit it? And I make them think about that because it's their responsibility to put it away. So they need to be able to have a home for it. And I teach them the process. And honestly, when I talk to other moms too, I think that this is a key thing that some of us miss. I miss this in things like cooking. At this point, cooking with my kids is too overwhelming for me for the most part. So I let them do things like stir sometimes. My oldest is 6. So I keep telling her, as you get older, you'll get more and more responsibilities with cooking. But this is something that I think some moms miss out on, unless it's just too overwhelming and that's your thing and you just want to but for me, my kids can learn the process. They can pick up their toys. They can put things away. That can be their responsibility. When we're cleaning the house, I don't need the burden of putting toys away. I don't need the burden of tidying up their rooms, putting things back in place, putting the pillows that they threw off the couch back on the couch. Like, they can learn all of these things. And so teaching them the process also of when are we allowed to have new things come in, I think that really simplifies it too, because for my kids, they realize I'm going to be in charge of this thing. I'm going to have to take care of this. So do I really want to have to take care of it? And that is something that helps also. Another thing, fix what you can so that you're not always buying new things. more cardboard for the recycling bin. Our recycling bin's always overflowing because I recycle everything that I can. And so it's like, there's more trash, there's more recycling, there's more money, there's more everything. So I fix what I can. I keep a handy thing of Gorilla Glue, and I use the hot glue gun occasionally. I sew things up. I have a little container in my junk drawer. I just have containers, little bins for smaller categories, and I have one that is things to fix. And then on top of my dryer, I have a basket that is big things to fix. And then my kids can put things there to get fixed. Replace batteries instead of just tossing in an old toy because the batteries die. It's a pain, and often I tell my kids this is not a time of battery replacing. We usually do that around birthdays. It's part of their present. We do that around holidays. Again, it's part of their present. And I'm saying, this is one of your presents. I'm replacing your batteries because batteries cost money. And I think it's good for them to learn that too. Another thing I do is I rotate seasonal books and puzzles. And this is super fun. I keep a big basket of books by our fireplace, and that is their seasonal book basket. And every time we switch seasons, they are so excited because the new books come out. So I do a Christmas thing starting from like the beginning of November to Christmas. We have Christmas books, and then I put all the Christmas books away with our Christmas decorations, and then I pull out all of the winter, like January to March books. So we have snow books, Valentine's books, St. Patrick's Day books are all in there. And then we do a spring, which is super fun, Easter books, all of the bunny books and the planting a garden and all those type books. And then we do the summer with summer vacations and all, and it's all like the season they're sort of in, and my kids love it. The books feel new to them every time we switch the book basket, especially. It's almost like their excitement for going to the library, which is another thing. I hardly ever buy books anymore unless they're seasonal books or very educational or super special, because we go to the library. So use things like that. Say, hey, those toys are at that place. We don't have to have them at our home, but we get to go to that place, and that gets to be a special thing. We get to bring these books home, and we get to have them for a couple weeks, and then we get to take them back, and other kids get to use them. So all of those things are really helpful to me in limiting our toys. And I hope it was helpful to you. I always like hearing how other moms do things because even if I get one good idea, it's something I can implement in the future and make my life more simple, which is almost always my goal, which is why I have the name, The Intentional Mom. Is I'm trying to intentionally simplify things so that I'm not just reacting to things. I have a set idea or a set system that's going to help me just be able to live peaceably without the compound effect of stuff that drives me crazy. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like it, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section other areas of the house maybe you would like to organize. I'm working on my February videos, and I'd love ideas for those too. I am planning on at least one. We'll see. I might make it a series, but at least one of things my mama's taught me. All the women in my life that have given, my friends' moms, my mom, my grandmas, my people who have given me these little tips that help around the house and keeping everything moving. But anyway, let me know down below if there's something maybe you're struggling with that you would like a video on, or what you liked from this one.